This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. I'm Alex Brown. A bill introduced at the Indiana Statehouse could allow Rush County to impose a food and beverage tax of up to 1%, but several county leaders say they have concerns about its potential impact. House Bill 1132 says revenue generated from the tax could be used for tourism and economic development, among other purposes, but Rush County Councilor Carl Harcourt said he does not believe the tax would generate enough revenue to significantly benefit the county.
The county already supports the economic development in our budget, and that the tourism is not a big deal, and we're going to have other problems with property tax and such in the next year or so. I would doubt that there's too much interest in raising taxes.
The bill has been referred to the House Ways and Means Committee. Steve Witt, president of the Terre Haute Economic Development Corporation, has resigned after 21 years in the role. A reason for Witt's departure was not given. EDC Board Chair David Baker will take over in the interim and says the board will soon begin a search for Witt's successor. Brownsburg-based State Bank has promoted President Matt Price, who now holds the titles of President and CEO following the retirement of longtime bank executive Mike Baker. Price joined the bank's board of directors in 2018 and was named president in October 2024. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
A bill to create an appointed board to oversee district and charter schools in Indianapolis would unfairly dilute electoral power, critics said during a House hearing Monday, while supporters said it would ensure shared accountability in transportation for all students.
House Bill 1423 largely adheres to recommendations the Indianapolis Local Education Alliance submitted in December that would give power over taxes, buildings, and transportation for Indianapolis public schools and charter schools to the Indianapolis Public Education Corporation, which would consist of 9 members appointed by the mayor. The alliance's recommendations would drastically change Indianapolis schools and reduce the power of the elected IPS school board, and could be replicated in school districts across the state facing declining enrollment and logistical challenges. The bill doesn't specify how the new corporation will distribute property tax funds to districts and charter schools, or how it will gain control of buildings that are financed by debt. Representative Bob Baining, the bill's author, said lawmakers still have to work out those details. At the House committee hearing, supporters of the bill said it would create a shared system of accountability as well as a shared transportation system that would allow students to attend the school of their choice. But dozens of speakers on Monday said the bill would significantly dilute the power of the elected Indianapolis Public Schools Board, and that the alliance ignored overwhelming support for an elected body to oversee schools. Abriana Herron, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Governor Mike Braun and local leaders on Monday celebrated the completion of the second phase of The District, a 254-unit workforce housing initiative near the Toyota manufacturing plant in Gibson County. The $14.6 million second phase added 110 1-, 2-, and 3-bedroom apartments to the existing 144 units in Phase 1, which was completed in late 2023. The project aimed to boost the amount of available affordable housing near Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Indiana, which employs more than 7,500 people. An Indianapolis-based startup that has developed stainless steel tableware for families and lunch trays for schools is continuing to grow its national presence. Ahimsa, founded by Indianapolis pediatrician Dr. Manasa Mantravati, was featured Monday on The View and just last month began selling its products on Target's website.
So far, everything has been going well. People are finding us, people are purchasing us. I think a lot of people gifted us for the holidays. So it's a brand new thing for us, and my hope is while we're on Target.com that We will quickly be at a Target store near you nationwide.
Montravati created the company in 2020 to help parents and schools provide food for children while reducing dependence on plastic during mealtime. Ahimsa's tableware products are made in India and delivered from a warehouse in Indianapolis. The voices behind the Bob and Tom Show are the focus of this week's Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.